He says, listen guys, I want to introduce you to somebody. My son, Scar. Her life fell apart right when she was learning to become and accept the fact that she was Jen and She-Hulk. Those are her stakes. And they still suck. Hey YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we review your favorite movies and TV shows. And tonight, we are finally on the season finale of She-Hulk. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Like this video if you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified of when we review other movies and TV shows. What's coming up next? You tell me. No, really, tell me in the comments. That would be super helpful. And I'm going to walk you through what happened, okay? From A to B. From A to Z, however you want to formulate your letters, you know? So this episode opens up with a nice nod to Lou Ferrigno's The Hulk TV show, which was great. I really loved it. Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. It's far less dramatic than that. Moving right along. Jen is recently arrested from her flipping out at the gala, and she's in the same prison situation that we saw Blonsky in at the beginning of the season. So Jen's homegirls come in, they like, listen girl, they trying to arrest you, they trying to put you in jail, but if you take this plea, you're gonna be okay. So Jennifer's angry, but she agrees to have a inhibitor put on her ankle to keep her from turning into She-Hulk and terrorizing and scaring a bunch of people. Then we get a montage of her life since she put this inhibitor on. She's released from prison, however she loses her job, and then I guess she doesn't have any savings and ends up losing all of her money and having to move back in with her parents. She's trying to figure out who Intelligentsia is with her plucky gal friend. In one last attempt to reach Bruce, she texts him, he doesn't respond, so she reaches out to Blonsky and decides that she's gonna go to his resort and just take a couple days away from her parents. Now, her little friend, whose name completely escapes me, decides that she's going to use a video that Jen's mom sent her of Jen when she was in college doing some rather risque things, you know, dancing a little wild, because that's how people dance. She takes the video and puts it up on Intelligentsia in order to infiltrate the system. And of course, because they're all men and they're idiots, they completely like her and they bring her into the group thinking that she's a dude. So then she gets their other friend, the one guy friend that Jen has, whose name I believe is Pug. And I'm like, is he a puppy? I don't know. Are they saying all men are dogs? Probably. Anyway, so plucky friend Gal and Pug go to this location to figure out what's going on with Intelligentsia and to gather as much information on them as they can. I should also mention that plucky Gal friend wants to beat the crap out of Intelligentsia while Jen just wants to sue them, because she's a lawyer. Once Pug is inside Intelligentsia with all of the bro-man dudes, we've got Plucky Gal listening in on her earpiece. We hear some of the everyday conversations that go on inside of Intelligentsia. Now, if you ask me, I'm clearly not an incel. I'm not a He-Man woman hater, but I think some of their arguments are valid. They're talking about the fact that they don't like Lady Thor, which I agree with. Thor Love and Thunder was absolute trash. If you want a review on that, well, I actually don't want to watch it again to do that for you, you know, sorry. They're talking about She-Hulk and how she's not stronger than Hulk and she's not bigger, badder than Hulk. All things that are true, but apparently they're terrible things to say. Not that I'm advocating for all the terrible information that they put up online of Jen. I'm just saying, I think some of their arguments have more weight. While they're inside Intelligentsia, they find out that Hulk King is the creepy director boyfriend that Jen went out with a couple of episodes ago, and also the guy that called her in the middle of the night because he bought a Wakanda sword. Then, if that weren't bad enough, Blonsky shows up, and he shows up as the Abomination, and it's like, whoa, Blonsky, what the heck, were you a bad guy too? Were all of the men in Jen's life, except for Duty, just working to destroy her because they hate her because she's a strong female character? Just back up a little bit. So Jen is at Blonsky's. She's hanging out with Lightsaber Dude, who was trying to beat her up with that light stick a long time ago. He's super creepy and weird, and she's trying to give her tea with pig blood in it or something like that. Anyway, she is like, where's Blonsky? And he's like, oh, he's down at the cabin thing, you know, doing a speaky thing. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, plot twist, she's gonna get snatched. It's actually been an elaborate plan the whole time. That would make too much sense. Jen goes down to the cabin and busts in and, what? Blonsky is there with Intelligentsia? And he seems to be on their team. Creepy director guy is Hulk King? And then plucky side chick pops in. And she's like, whoa, Jen, we have to get out of here. All these people are so bad. Oh, and then Titania pops up. Oh my gosh, you see this right here? I completely forgot about this. Director dude shoots himself up with her blood in a serum to make himself a Hulk. And it's like, what is going on? All of these storylines converging? This doesn't make any sense. And then we get the fake Disney Plus menu screen. Now, I'm like, what the? That is not what my Disney Plus menu screen is, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. And then the She-Hulk movie screen busts through and she's looking around and she's looking for Avengers Assemble, and so she jumps into that world. And then we see Jen walking around the Disney studio lot. And I was like, hey, I've been there. That's actually accurate. So, you know, she's walking around like nobody's freaking out that there's a freaking giant green woman walking around. Whatever. Then she busts up into the writer's room, and all of the writers are middle-aged women and two random white guys. she's in there and she's like, guys, what is happening with this storyline? Why is this guy trying to get my blood? It feels like it's a super soldier serum thing. I just feel like we've done this so many times. Who I'm assuming is the head writer because he's a dude, you know, and only men can be in positions of power. And idiots is like, this is what Kevin wants. And she's like, well, who's Kevin? I'm gonna talk to Kevin. Oh, cool. She's about to go find Kevin Feige and like beat him down for the trash that has been this show. And then she's busting people left and right. And so she busts in this room. It's all super cool. And boom, she meets Kevin. And what, who, when, where is Kevin? Kevin is a big circular robot. Kevin stands for some ridiculous acronym that I don't know about. That's the joke. All of the MCU is written and orchestrated by a robot instead of a man, which, okay. So she has an argument with Kevin. Basically, she's like, listen, dude, I'm just gonna read this, okay? Marvel is doing the same storyline, and the stakes are too big, and there's too much action. That's just not her story, you know? Oh, I forgot that Bruce comes in too. Everybody comes in. She's like, I was just getting used to being Jen and She-Hulk, and then everything gets ruined, and those are my stakes. And I'm just like, those suck. Why would I care? And so Kevin says, okay, sounds good. And then he's like, okay, get out of here. She's like, well, what's the cheapest way? And so they just cut. I'll get into that in a second. She decided that Blonsky just goes to jail, you know, to deal with the consequences of his actions. Bruce never showed up in the barn because he would have been stealing her thunder. She makes it daytime. You know, that's pretty much it. Oh, she asks if Dee Dee can come back. And so magical Daredevil just drops out of the sky. Well, it's late. Anyway, she talks to lawyer dude, who doesn't have the serum. She takes that away from him. And she's like, listen, man, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna sue you. So then we cut again. Matt's at the table with her family, having a nice little family barbecue. It was just like a little stupid. Anyway, the big plot twist at the barbecue is Bruce shows up. He says, listen guys, I want to introduce you to somebody. My son, Scar. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Stupid. So my complaints. 1, I really didn't appreciate that the way the story was going to end was that all of the men in Jennifer's life were actually part of intelligentsia and out to get her. I thought that was stupid and lame and lazy writing. So I am glad that she interrupted that. However, her answer to just pretty much obliterate all of those storylines was also stupid. We had no tie-ins. We didn't understand anyone's motivation. Like what? I, like any true fan of any fandom, appreciated all the Easter eggs that were going on throughout this episode, especially when she stepped into our world, I guess. Also, did you guys notice how many Captain America We Want You signs there were? Like, there were at least 4. And I'm wondering what that is. Are we like nodding to, you know, Sam Wilson's Cap? Who knows? Scar shows up, Bruce's son. Does that mean that we are going to get some Planet Hulk? I think that's kind of inevitable. I mean, that's where Scar's born. I hope that they're just not like, yeah, I went to a planet and I loved a woman and we had 2 sons and now this is my one son. We're not going to ask about the other one. I hope that they actually do that storyline right. Then, I mean, if we get Planet Hulk, are we going to get Silver Surfer? Jen does ask about the X-Men. Her conversation with Kevin, he asks her to go back to being Jen because her being She-Hulk is really, really expensive. I thought that was funny and is actually supports the rumors that that's just costing Disney too much to make. That wasn't bad enough. She can't just stop being She-Hulk. They're like, no, you need to transform off camera because the VFX team has already left. I just felt like they put all of this cool stuff in because they were like, this story sucks and we don't actually know how to end it well. So let's just throw her into the real world and do like some real intense meta stuff. Lazy. Not much teasing on Daredevil. We know that he can't stay in California. Could you imagine? There would be riots in the streets if they just decided, you know what? We're actually not going to give him his own show. We're just going to feature him in this show every couple of weeks. Kevin tells her that he'll see her on the big screen and she's like, really? And then he's like, no, but we know that that's probably not true, especially when we see Daredevil in the same space as a legit OG Avenger. I mean, was it just me? I was like, yeah, the universes are uniting. Super excited. Anyway, guys, that is everything that I have on She-Hulk the entire season. Thank you so much for riding with me and watching it. Side note, none of you got my age right, and I'm actually quite flattered. So I won't be shouting anyone out because you're all wrong, but you're more than welcome to continue to try in the comment sections below as we cover our next TV shows. We still gotta finish House of the Dragon, which I missed this week because it was my birthday. Like this video if you like the video, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified when we review other movies and TV shows. That is the end of She-Hulk. Praise God.